My name is Cozy Stone. Welcome to Cozy Up and Pay Attention. We are a local Vegas show where we profile businesses. And in light of the pandemic and all that's going on in the world and in our city especially, or as well, we want to try to help our business owners get back into the red. Red or black? Black. Some color. We want to help them get colored. Take it for whatever the heck you think it means. But what it means is we want to promote businesses. My guests will probably have something that you can use, or a friend or a family member, it doesn't matter. More importantly, I know these people. I say with pride, everyone that's coming on here is a friend or someone that I care about, cares a little bit about me, so they decided to come on the show as well, so I'm honored. Before we start the show, let's introduce everyone to my mom, and that's all I'm going to call her. That's my mom, the woman who was responsible for me being the nut that I am and the wonderful person that I am as well. So I just want to honor her by having her here on our table. I also want to talk about this wonderful water. It's called Simple Truth. I am an avid water drinker. Most of us know our bodies are 70% water, and I'm not going to get into a biology class. However, we can't do without this, contrary to what you tequila drinkers think. You need water. You may even need some water after you drink your tequila. So, simple truth, and I find myself pretty simple, and I feel that I always tell the truth. Couldn't have found a better sponsor. Also, one of the main goals of the show is to promote my book, Cozy Up, Cozyisms, The Art of Paying Attention. Go to Amazon. This will all be on my site, and you can search Cozyisms. Everything that we talk about this evening will be on my website. It will be called s1e12.com. All this information will be online for you. The guest information will also be online for you. So we're going to get the show started this evening with one of my wonderful guests. It's probably going to be a word I say every week, so everybody should feel good about themselves. And this is a wonderful guest that I have not seen in at least almost 10 years. No. And her name is Deb Carter. Deb is going to tell you where she was initially born and raised, how long have you been in Vegas, the name of your company, what you do, and how can you and or your company help our residents in Las Vegas. Okay. Or outside of Las Vegas.
Okay.
Good evening.
Good evening, Cozy. It's lovely to be here. My name is Deb Carter, and I was born and raised in Minnesota. I am the first baby in Rochester, Minnesota, the year of my birth. That's all you need to know. So my 15 minutes of fame was right there. After that, I lived in Manhattan, New York, and I lived in Jersey for 17 years. I went to Houston for a couple years and California for a few years, and decided that I wanted to choose where I lived, so I call Las Vegas my hometown. So I've been here 11 years, and I love it every day. Best friends in the world, so much to do. Even in COVID, there's always something to think of, that an errand I can run or something. So yeah, life is good. I work with, I'm an independent rep. I have an independent office for Country Financial. I do all sorts of insurance as well as financial planning. I do have a certified financial planning certification, so I really know that from the top down. Spent 10 years with the bigs in California and moved here in 2008 at the end of the year, about the time the market was falling. And this was the right job for me at that time, and I'm still there. So it's still the right job for me. And I just love helping people figure out how to get from where they are to where they want to be. That's what I do.
Well, that's too open-ended, so can you be more specific?
I
Maybe
sure can.
give me an example or two of someone or people you've worked with, what they needed and how you helped them achieve it.
So on the one end, I love helping young people set up how much of their money should be life insurance, how much should be financial investing, IRAs, that kind of thing, whether they should be working with their 401k at work, probably. All that stuff gets mixed in, and I can help draw that roadmap. Mm-hmm. And on the other extreme, people who are my age, who are retirees, trying to figure out what happens next. I love helping them figure out the best way to invest for their long-term future.
And so you still left it open-ended. I'm going back in again.
Okay.
Can you give me an example? Sorry, thought I'd turn this off. Can you give me an example of, here we go, off one. A family came in, they had this going on, they needed blah, blah, blah. How did you help them?
So you buy a house.
No. You've been doing this for how long?
I've been doing this 20 years.
Okay, go in your 20 years.
Okay.
Yesterday, 16 years ago, first year on the job. If you can come up in your head, one of the people you helped and felt so good about getting them where they wanted to go. Give us an example.
It's hard because everything I do is confidential.
Oh, I don't want names.
Okay, but
we want situation.
I understand, but I also am very careful. I'm kind of careful to not tell stories because Las Vegas is a very small town, so I don't want to be real specific about anything.
Someone brought their grandchild to you. They just graduated high school. You have no situations like that. We don't need names. I just want you to try to give the audience an idea. Someone is sitting home right now and you just made it so open-ended, I wouldn't know what I would exactly call you for. So maybe take one of the businesses that you do.
Okay. So what you would call me for is the
lunch.
Lunch.
Silly me.
But you are looking at how do I prepare for the rest of my life. We're at times, we're at ages where we're kind of like, where are we in this whole retirement, pre-retirement mess? What happens next? How do we get over to the next level? You and I would sit down and I would say, okay, what are you working with? Once you told me what you were working with, I'd say, okay, so this is what I'm going to suggest is the best situation for you, and there's probably more than one option.
Give me some options, Deb.
Okay.
I'm going to dental school when I'm finished this doggone interview. Billy Bob, am I pulling teeth here? Am I pulling teeth, Billy Bob?
What I did this year was a lot of life insurance. People were scared, COVID's around. You know, they wanted to make sure families were protected, and you know, young families certainly need life insurance. That's one of my favorite things, is just getting them the right thing to do, the right life insurance. It's just product. It's just, my job is to listen. My job is to listen and find out who people are, and that's the best thing I like about it. And then at that point, we figure out what product is going to best implement them moving forward. And I know it sounds vague, but I don't know what to tell you.
I know, you've been doing it too long.
It's just a question of listening and propelling.
Okay, give you an example. The woman that set me up for my health insurance.
Okay.
I'm in love with her. I tell everyone about her. Yes, senior, needing the health insurance. What part, as you know, there's the A and the B and the C and the D and the Z, and nobody knows about that until you start.
Exactly.
Right? So that's all I'm trying to somehow get out of you, where she was able, and she did this on the phone with me in Denver.
Okay.
And then when I came here, we got a better plan.
Okay.
So one of the many reasons I'm glad I came back here.
Good.
And so it doesn't seem as though at this particular moment, and the other part of coming on the show today, and yes, being part of season 1,
yes,
is that Eddie and all of my guests, I hope we're not going to be one-timers.
Yeah, good, great.
And so maybe after this show, and you'll see the others, and by the time you come back, that's what she wanted to know. That's what she was trying. It's a little uncomfortable because we're all getting used to this.
Yeah.
I'll be the first one to say, I don't like the camera, but I can't have video if I'm not on camera.
Sure.
And it takes makes you a little, stifles you a little bit.
One of the things is that I have such a range. I do everything from auto and home insurance, business insurance, which I love doing, to life insurance, which is a need for so many people, and the financial planning. And the financial planning is my baby. It's what I'm groomed for.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, that's where there are no direct paths. There are people who say, you know, if they have this much money that goes here, here, here. For me, it's not like that. For me, it's let's figure out what you're working with and let's figure out the best situation for you. Do you need a steady paycheck? Do you have legacy needs? Do you want to leave money to your kids or a charity? That's what I do. I help people figure out that stuff.
So, in light of the pandemic, the businesses that you're working with now, or anyone who may be looking at you now, saying, "Well, how can she get me back on track,
Yeah.
or keep me from going under." You see what I'm trying to get out of you?
Absolutely. You know, in extreme cases, there are people that are just suffering, and I can't stop the suffering, but I can help them figure out what to do as they start back.
Okay, and what would you suggest?
Well,
I'm gonna get this out of you if we spend the next 48 hours. This is only one show and we're doing this for 48 hours until I get Deb to answer my question.
So a lot of people who are working in the casinos are unemployed.
Okay.
Or have been, on and off.
Mm-hmm.
So they may or may not have a 401k. There are things about a 401k, like you probably don't want to use that money because you don't have to. You can keep that money.
Mm-hmm.
Even in bankruptcy, you can keep your 401k separate. So you don't want to just spend it to stay afloat if you don't have to.
Mm-hmm.
So those are the things you don't know along the way. Is like,
that's what I want you.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, we're gonna do this for 48 hours. Deb, you and me.
Well, there are just things that you need to be careful about.
Mm-hmm.
I also can't be real specific about things legally. I
Mm-hmm.
can't on camera be
Mm-hmm.
real specific about things.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, there are just there are things like we would need to talk about your 401k before you spend it.
Mm-hmm.
Let me put it that way.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, if you needed to feed the kids, for God's sakes, you're going to do what you have to do.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm really scared for the people in this city who had prolonged and permanent job losses right now.
Mm-hmm.
And I would help in any way I could. And
Well,
if
that's
what I can do is educate them what the options are. I can't give them money. Don't have enough. Sorry.
I'm gonna rock for a moment. Give me a minute to rock. It's on the tip of your tongue. I come to you tomorrow. I call you tomorrow. What's the first question you would ask me? My age? Is there a certain group and we know about the seniors,
Right.
and then you mentioned, is there one or the other that you would right now position your business towards, not leaving anything on the table?
Yeah. I love working.
Because that's a heck of a dynamic of young and.
I love working with seniors and their children. How's that? People who are in their 20s and have babies usually are not ready to buy life insurance, although they need it.
What would they be more likely to buy?
Almost anything.
Like what?
Toys, cribs, you know.
What would they be most likely to buy from you?
No, nothing. I mean, that's what I'm saying. That they don't come see me when they could at that young age.
Okay.
And life insurance, one of the things that I have felt very strongly about in Las Vegas is they have barbecues for people who lost a father. You know, that a barbecue that money lasts a month.
Mm-hmm.
It just is not enough.
Mm-hmm.
There are things that I can do to educate people and help them work with their particular budget so they never have to go through that.
And that's, you said they're having a barbecue for a health issue or a death issue?
A death issue. Usually,
okay.
you know, dad gets struck on the motorcycle and he's gone, and the family of four is having a barbecue to get by. I don't understand.
There's the answer I've been waiting for.
I don't understand.
Took me
That's where I can
15
help.
minutes but I dang it, I knew I could. I'm that little red train. That little, I know I can. I know. No, I didn't need to walk in your shoe. We got it out. There's someone or people who are looking at the show, and Deb works in financial, and what part of my life can she help me in? And you just gave me the answer.
Okay.
Was that? Give me that tooth. Put it under my pillow tonight. Okay. So now we're going to move on to the cozy-isms part of the show. Good. And I have this wonderful can that I'm always proud to say it matches my book until I change. I'm working on my truly accident. All right, so I'm going to put my hand in. I'm going to pull out a card, which will be a cozyism. Okay. If it doesn't make you comfortable, please let me know, and we can pull another one. And I'm going to ask you how it resonated with you, and then we'll discuss how I came up with it. And hopefully we'll have a conversation. I'm going to get a conversation out of you, Deb, or you're not leaving tonight. We're going to do this for 48 hours.
This is way easier than
this is way easier. All right, we'll see. Okay. So here goes. A cozyism. Why should your good time cause a bad time for others? What do you think when you hear that?
It never should. I just don't think it ever should.
Give me an example.
Well, I'm going to take that back.
Let me repeat. Why should your good time cause a bad time for others?
Because I love to play poker. And sometimes when I'm having a really good time, somebody else might feel the pain. But for the most part, I don't think that my good time should enhance somebody else's good time rather than cause them a bad time.
Okay. And I hope you kill everybody at that poker table.
You betcha.
If they sat there, I want you to go home with all the money. So once maybe I tell you where I was thinking, what my thoughts were.
Good.
Maybe get your pistons on fire. Okay. Let's take an example with someone who is not faithful.
Okay.
Okay. So he or she is being unfaithful to their partner, and they get caught. Now, I don't want anybody to take this out of context as I say it, but I'm speaking from my heart and speaking of who I am. Okay. First of all, I've never gotten caught. I said that out loud and it's true. I have never gotten caught. And why? Because I didn't think my good time should cause a bad time for others.
Right.
On the other hand, to date, I have never caught. I just say someone and everyone I dated never was seeing someone else around me. They could have. Yeah. They were smart enough not to get caught. Yeah. So that's the kind of thing is why should your good time cause a bad time for others? I'll give you another one. You go out to the bars and you get filthy, you get drunk, and then you have an accident and you take a life. Or you just go home and knock down your neighbor's fence with your car. Why should your good time be a bad time for others? That's where I came from. Yeah. When I was thinking that. The reality. Go ahead.
It took me it took me to the idea of going to the bar. You're the big party guy at some table, and you're taking up all the oxygen in the room, and you pour a drink on somebody's dress. I mean that why would you be that guy or the girl? Mm-hmm. No, absolutely. I think
now they're coming readily to your head. Well, that's right. Why should your good time cause a bad time for others? And again, part of the Cozy Up and Pay Attention the show is to bring to light situations that we see, hear, talk about to our friends, family, and all of us every day. Right. And I simply want to start sharing with my audience another frame of mind, a reference in their heads. Mm-hmm. And they can maybe watch the show and say, she's right. Yeah. I get drunk, I come home, I wake up the kids, I kick the dog, whatever. Yeah. So it almost falls under the umbrella of it's not what you do, but how you do it. I never got caught.
And I don't even play that.
I just
don't.
Oh, I did. It was so much fun. I miss those days.
The thing I'm most grateful for is that both of my long-term relationships were monogamous souls. They just were.
You got that 10%.
I did, and they just were built that way. And I just think I just got lucky because I'm built that way. Loyalty is like, shh. Anyway, whole different thing. Yeah, I'm just trying to think of another time that would be relevant. Any time you're out in public, are you doing good for people? Or are you in their face? And some of it is just the way you say it. I have a friend who will be at the grocery store. Somebody will do something she doesn't like, and she'll say, "Why are you doing that? That's really inappropriate." You can.
Are they in her face?
Well, yeah. If it's to you, you say, "Excuse me, but that's making me uncomfortable." It's just the difference in that's making me uncomfortable and accusation. So just even the little things, and I think so much of it is the little things.
Well, it is, and that's what this show. I want this show to be about the little things that are big things.
Yeah.
We're now living in a climate with anger. A lot of anger.
Yeah.
Disappointment doesn't even play a part into what's going on because we have a choice of being of our attitude.
For sure.
And the attitude can be a positive one.
Yeah.
It can be a negative one.
Yeah.
But how does it help us as a society? If we're all being angry and being nasty and disrespectful to one another, then we're not going to cause happy. One of the other titles that I use is PHP, Deb.
Okay.
And my PHP is professional happy person.
There you go.
I want to get a group of us.
Yep.
I want to start a club of
Good.
professional happy people.
Good.
And if people hear it, is what repetition being the mother of learning. That's all the show is.
Yep.
And every week we'll have different guests, we'll talk different, but it's always going to come back to being happy, being positive, and being a better human being because we're all responsible. We know who we want to blame, to point the finger at, and it makes it easier to say them, and we are them.
One of my goals this year was not to lose a friendship
Ooh.
over any debate that went on. And I found that one of my favorite people was on the opposite side, my daughter. And we discussed and discussed and discussed, and one day she said, "I'm sorry I yelled at you." And I said, "You know what? We're having adult conversations like adults, and I'm so proud of us."
That's right.
And it was very, very cool.
That's right.
And I think that's partly what you're saying. A lot of people this year took aside and said, "My happiness is your unhappiness," and it didn't have to be that way.
And I think I've watched Phil once, and I have one line from his that I use, and I love it because it's so declarative. And how is that working for you?
Yes, exactly. Exactly.
I love that line. So how's that working for you? So you're right. It's interesting you brought up the not getting rid of people. I have an exercise that I will be doing on the 31st of this month, and I have been doing it since a teenager. And I go through my phone and I delete. And what I'm proud of is I'm having less deletions.
Good.
I am. I think I got 3 or 4 this year. I'm
Yeah.
happy that 2 of them are going, by the way. But it's first of all, it's part of my happiness.
You bet.
It's part of why can't we do this together? We're on this earth together. We all live amongst one another, and tearing people down and building off of the backs of anger and hatred will never serve anybody.
One of the things that I have come to the conclusion this year was we finally found one thing we could all agree on. Thank God 2020 is over. It's been the one thing we've all agreed on this year. And then I went, we finally found a unifier. It's been an interesting time.
Yeah, it has. And I have said this, and I say it in the vein that I hope everyone takes it. 2020 actually has been one of my best years.
Good.
I sat down, looked at my life, looked at what's going on in it, assessed what I needed to do, and I did it. and I'm getting it done.
Good.
And so if we've all had one thing given to us that's a commodity, it's time. What do we do with our time? And in light of this conversation and this show, I'd like people to think about, and again, I'm going to say this every week, I'm not on this show to tell people what to do.
Yeah.
I'm on this show to give them a choice and an option, an alternative thought. Think about being happy. Think about being nice people. Think about helping others. I said it in my last show, I'll say it maybe every show. Give compliments tomorrow to two people that you've never seen before. I mean, I can't imagine people not going by you and tell you they love your hair. That hair has been hit hot since I first saw it. So something like that. So,
I happen to have my book. Would you be so kind?
That looks like my book.
This one's my book.
Looks like mine.
But you may write in it.
Deb, you asking me to autograph your book?
Would you please?
Her book. I don't know, they match these. Don't they look like Billy Bob? Does that look like my book? So here's what I'd like to do. As I find some wonderful words to say to you, and thank you for purchasing your book.
You're welcome.
And supporting me.
You're welcome.
Please tell the audience one more time, your name, your number, telephone number, email address, website. How can they find you as well as on the website?
Okay. My name's Deb Carter. I'm with Country Financial on Cheyenne, 9910 West Cheyenne Avenue. I'm at the country office there. Do you want a phone number? My cell phone is available to everybody. 702-343-7361. If you have questions about where you are, where you want to go, give me a call. We will just sit and have a conversation and figure out what's best for you. That's what I do best. You're gonna not ask me any more about my business.
Your time's up, babe. I grilled you.
You did.
I got what I needed out of you.
You did.
And I know when you leave here, you're going to have all kind of thoughts going through your head. I could have said this. We all do it.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, we all do it. You're on the spot, and then you get on and you say, oh, I could have done this. But I want you to go and write those down. Put them in your phone for the next time.
Actually, I thought of several, but I it's a small town. I had. Thank you.
You know, I'll tell you something that's interesting. When we get to what's close to the end of the show, it seems as though that 30 minutes is when they get more gabby, because I think you're just more relaxed.
For sure.
I think that's what it is.
Yeah.
But however.
So when I come back.
You're gonna be ready for me, aren't you?
Be ready.
Because I'm gonna have more questions. I'm gonna drill you. I'm gonna drill you and bring my drill just like I did today. I want your teeth. Oh.
I'm getting a crowd bragging. You probably have it.
Deb Carter, financial, what is it? Country Financial.
Country Financial.
Country Financial Advisor. It's been our guest this evening. I hope you've enjoyed her as much as I have. I hope I pulled words out of her mouth and gave you an idea of how exactly she can help you. And if I didn't, you have her number, you have her information. Please feel free to call her. Work with her. She'll give you great service. I will not promote anyone on here that I know for a fact is a flake. I don't do flakes. I don't get caught, and I don't do flakes. As my lesson for this evening. And as we close this show out, ladies and gentlemen, here goes. Hold the door. Say please. Say thank you. Don't steal. Don't cheat. And don't lie. I know you've got mountains to climb, but always stay humble and kind. Good night. See you next week.